Welcome back, movie enthusiasts, to Synopsis Kings, your ultimate destination for movie recaps. Today, we're set to embark on another fascinating journey, this time through the contract killer action memory film. A heads up, spoilers are on the horizon, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, consider this your friendly alert. The story begins in Mexico. We see Alex Lewis arrive at a hospital parking lot, park, and hide his keys in the visor. He puts on hospital scrubs, then comes out of the car and looks up. He enters the hospital when a fast car enters the parking lot. Two men get out. One of the men, with a bouquet of flowers, gets out to visit his sick mother, who is admitted to this hospital. Alex is in his mother's room, pretending to be one of the staff. The man enters and asks to have the room, but Alex wraps a steel garrote rope around the man's neck, violently cutting it in front of his mom. The man's mother can only watch in horror as her son dies in front of her. Alex lays his garrote inside a plastic bag and leaves the room. Back at his car, Alex sends a message to his handlers that the job is complete, breaks the phone, and stores it with the garrote. He looks for the car keys in his visors but can't find them. Confused, he searches his scrubs and manages to find the keys in his pocket. Oh, shit, Alex whispers to himself. He knows it's not good. El Paso, Texas. Vincent is in Leon's apartment, watching his daughter, Beatriz, as she draws. Vincent hands Leon some money. We see that Vincent is nervous, but Leon asks him to go and talk to Beatriz. She's very sweet. He asks her to be nice to Vincent, and we realize the horrifying truth, that Leon is abusing his own daughter. Vincent tries to talk to Beatriz and asks her about her drawings, trying to comfort her. She starts to take off her clothes, thinking he is just another customer. She becomes suspicious when he is trying to avoid any sexual activity. She realizes he is wearing a wire and calls out to her father. Vincent is an undercover FBI agent. His team, Linda and Hugo, break the door and enter the house as Vincent struggles with Leon over a gun. Leon manages to put a gun into his own daughter, Beatriz's, head. Vincent slowly approaches, attempting to convince Leon, but Leon says he won't go back and insists that he will kill his daughter. Although they intended to capture Leon alive, both of them jump from the window, resulting in Leon's death, leaving Beatriz angry and traumatized. Gerald, Vincent's boss, approached him when he was checked by EMS. He criticizes Vincent for this approach because Leon was a key in their human trafficking case, and his death ruins the case. Linda tries to support Vincent, but Gerald is not interested. The authorities take Beatriz while she stares at Vincent for killing her father. Back in Mexico City, Alex meets his handler, Mauricio, who passes the information for his next assignment in El Paso. Alex, now suffering from memory loss, tries to tell Mauricio that he plans to retire, but Mauricio warns him that retiring is not an option. Alex hears about the money for the contract and says it's too much, but Mauricio explains that this is a double kill in El Paso. Mauricio tells Alex that they know about his brother in El Paso, hinting at a threat to Alex, and says, "Guys like us don't retire." Alex drives to El Paso and checks into a hotel under the name David. He goes to his room to take his medication and checks his arm, where he wrote down key information such as his fake name, hotel, and other information. It looks like his memory is fading fast, and he needs extra help to remember things. Alex goes down and flirts with Maya, the receptionist, and then meets with William, the middleman for the job, who gives him a briefcase. Alex finds a tablet inside the briefcase with information about his targets. Alex goes back to his room and reviews the information about the two jobs. His first target is Ellis Van Camp. He pulls out and assembles a silenced pistol with laser sight, checking its accuracy. Vincent goes to visit Beatriz, who is still blaming him for the death of her father. He tries to justify that what her father did to her was terrible and that she deserved better, but her father convinced her that her abuse was the cost of freedom, better to be a prostitute than detained. Vincent offers to get her a special visa for the United States. He says it's wrong that she's detained while the others are out there enjoying their freedom. Beatriz says her father warned her about talking about the other men. Vincent, not happy, tells her he will move her to a secure house to have some freedom, telling her, "You deserve better than this, Beatriz." He gives her a new set of coloring pencils and a sketchbook. We move to another house where Ellis Van Camp, Alex's first target, is working in his office. Wendy, his wife, steps in and makes the comment, "Guess I will be going to the party alone." Ellis replies that he is busy working, and Wendy leaves. A few minutes later, the doorbell rings, and Ellis opens, but Alex pushes through, pointing a gun at Ellis' head. Alex asks for flash drives. They go to the safe in his office. Ellis opens the safe just as his daughter calls out, saying she is going to a party. Alex hits him on the head to keep him silent and puts Ellis in a chokehold as the girl leaves. He then breaks his neck, puts him on the couch, takes the flash drives, and leaves the house. William, sitting by the pool, receives a message from Alex stating that he has completed his first mission. Vincent and Linda drive to Ellis's house. Wendy tells them she went to an art show and that her husband's murder must be a robbery because the safe was open. Alex goes to meet his brother, who lives in a retirement home and is suffering from Alzheimer's. Unable to recognize his own brother, Alex still tries to make small talk about their past. Alex now faces the harsh reality that he might soon join his brother in suffering the same fate. Alex hugs his brother and leaves. At the Child Exploitation Task Force building, Gerald addresses his team. He tells them that the task force is being dissolved and that Hugo, the Mexican agent, will be going back home. Not happy with the decision, Vincent says they finally have a witness, Beatriz, but Gerald is not convinced. Hugo is also not happy with the decision. He thinks that the superiors don't want to admit that they have a trafficking problem and want to avoid conflicts with the rich and powerful. Vincent agrees with Hugo, noting that Beatriz's father's clientele was mostly Americans. Frustrated, Gerald orders Vincent to focus on Ellis's murder if he really wants to help Beatriz with her visa. Alex follows Vincent and Beatriz to their new home. He recognized her from the pictures on the tablet as her second target. Vincent takes Beatriz in and tells the leader of protection in detail that Beatriz is both a victim and witness. Before leaving, Vincent says he will do his best to come back and visit, and Beatriz gives him one of her drawings. That night, Alex breaks into the secure home and heads to Beatriz's room. He uses a flashlight to see her face, sees her drawings, and realizes she is just a child. Beatriz wakes up, horrified, and promises not to say anything, begging for her life. Alex, stressed, quickly leaves the house. Alex asks William to meet and attacks him when he comes. Alex, furious that the second target was a child, says he won't do it, but William responds, "You are a professional, you will do the job, or I will tell the bosses in Mexico." Angry, Alex responds, "I won't fucking do it. And are you deaf?" He then threatens William to cancel Beatriz's contract, or he will keep the flash drives from the first job and target William. At a high-rise building, Davana Sealman, a businesswoman, gets out of her car and talks on the phone. William calls her and tells her about Alex, their discussion, the flash drives, and Beatriz. He tells her that Alex wants Beatriz spared, or he won't hand over the drives. Not happy, Davana says she can understand Alex's point of view, but she will handle it and asks William not to call her again. At the hotel bar, Alex is having a drink when he sees Maya with a drunk man harassing her. He hits the drunk man's head into the bar and asks him to leave. Maya asks him to join her for a drink. Linda and Hugo are having a drink. Hugo shares his frustration about dropping the case, but Linda feels better knowing that Beatriz is safe. She notices a necklace with 6 charms of Saint Inez and asks Hugo about its meaning. He tells her about a similar story where a 13-year-old girl was kidnapped and murdered. Everyone suspected that a military officer did it, and Hugo spent months building the case but was asked to hand it over to the military, who buried it. Instead of having justice for the dead girl, her mother, aunt, and 3 sisters were also murdered, with their bodies hanging outside Hugo's office. He asks Linda to learn the prayer of Saint Inez. Alex goes to bed with Maya, and he starts shaking and falls to the floor. Maya wakes up and helps him, thinking it was just a bad dream, but Alex knows that his body is giving up on him. The next morning, Vincent drives to the secure home, surprised that it's now a crime scene. Beatriz was murdered, which leaves Vincent horrified and furious that he couldn't protect her. Hugo is getting into a taxi to go back home, but he sees Beatriz's murder in the news. He gets out of the car, he's staying. Meanwhile, Alex sees news of Beatriz's murder in the news. Trying to remember if he is the one who did it, he forcefully asks Maya to confirm that he was in the room with her all night. After confirming, he asks her to forget about him and leaves. Alex knows he's now a wanted man, heads to his car, senses danger in the parking lot, and finds a bomb planted underneath. Suddenly, he is under fire by a man called Mauricio. Alex takes cover, and Maya comes after him to give him his pills that he forgot. Alex tries to save Maya, but Mauricio shoots her, dying in Alex's arms. Saddened and outraged, Alex opens fire, knocks Mauricio out cold, and places Maya's body in the trunk of his car. Mauricio, now tied up, asks Alex, "When did you go soft?" And Alex replies, "Happy retirement, Maury," and triggers the bomb, killing Mauricio. Vincent meets with Mora and learns about the car bomb. They think it might be all related, and Mora assures Vincent that he will let him know once they know more. He gives his condolences for Beatriz's death. Hugo meets Vincent at a bar, telling him he saw the news and couldn't go back. "I can do things both of you can't," Hugo noted. Vincent says Gerald won't like it, but they both know Hugo doesn't work for him. William is on a treadmill at the gym. A car pulls up, and a shadow comes out of the car. It's Alex, keeping his earlier promise of vengeance, who shoots William straight in the head. Alex heads to the basement of the abandoned bakery. He checks the flash drives and sees a conversation between Ellis Van Camp and Davana. Ellis was threatening Davana, and she was threatening him back. The second flash drive had pictures of Davana with her son Randy and other pictures and videos of Randy sexually abusing Beatriz. He now realizes why both had to be killed. Vincent, Linda, and Hugo arrive at the Borden crime scene. Gerald arrives, and Vincent tells him that William, Beatriz, and Maya's murders may be all connected. They need Hugo's help to find the potential hitman who did all of this. Finally, Gerald agrees, but tells them to always keep him updated. Randy storms into his mom's office because he heard about William's murder, thinking he will be next. Davana asks him to leave El Paso immediately after the party he's attending. He should go to Geneva, Switzerland, and check into rehab for his issues. Back at the office, Vincent learns that 2 guns were used for the murders. Alex calls Vincent, and he tells him that powerful men were behind Beatriz's murder. Men like Ellis Van Camp and William Borden, whom he killed. He tells Vincent that Mauricio killed Beatriz and that there are very powerful people behind all of this. Alex wants the ones responsible for all of this to pay for what they did. He tells Vincent, if I can't finish this, you have to. Linda traced the call only to find out that Alex was sitting outside. Vincent rushed out, but it was too late. Vincent now thinks that Alex is killing the traffickers they can't get to because of all the police bureaucracy. We see Hugo, who meets William's wife. She informs him that William used to work for Davana and talk to her frequently. Back at the office, Hugo relays the new information to the team. Linda tells the team that they are going after one of the wealthiest real estate developers in the nation. Linda searches Williams to find out that it was Randy's lawyer who owned the detention center that Beatriz stayed in, and Ellis helped build it. Vincent is convinced Randy Sealman will be Alex's next target. That night, Linda, Hugo, and Vincent go to keep an eye on Randy, who is on a private yacht attending a private party. Randy goes downstairs with a waitress to his room. Vincent gets out of his car and finds an empty medicine bottle, which indicates that Alex is already on board the yacht, so he runs on board to protect Randy. Randy is forcing the waitress to sleep with him, but Alex meets her in the bathroom and asks her to stay silent. Alex grabs a pillow, puts it over Randy's head, and fires twice, killing Randy. Vincent and Linda arrive and see the body. Vincent runs upstairs to look for Alex. After a chase, Alex points his gun at Vincent, asking him to drop his. Alex tells Vincent that he doesn't want to hurt him and that he has done crazy things, but you don't hurt children, ever. Alex then said, we all have to die, Vincent. What matters is what you do before you go. Hugo arrives and shoots at Alex's car, injuring him. He changes cars by stealing a Jeep and drives off. Gerald tells Vincent that Davana is furious about Randy's death. Vincent tells his boss that Alex is the killer, but most of the other murders are not his. He wants revenge for Beatriz's murder. Alex passes out in the Jeep, and a policeman arrives and wakes him up. The police officer sees Alex's gun and draws his, but Alex shoots him dead. He goes back to the bakery to clean up his wounds. Linda and Vincent learn about the policeman's murder, realizing that Alex must have gotten spooked. Vincent wants to find him first before the police because they will kill him on sight. Linda now has more information about Alex. He and his brother are El Paso residents. Their father was abusive, which explains why Alex will not harm children. Alex faked his death after making it appear as if he died with his father in a bakery fire. Vincent asks her to get a warrant for the bakery. Hugo tells them the bakery is empty and has nothing but pigeon crap, and Linda says the Jeep Alex stole had traces of pigeon crap on it. Vincent and his team go to the bakery, but they just missed Alex. Davana hired Detective Mora to protect her with a few officers. Suddenly, the sirens of the police cars are triggered as a distraction, so Alex can go into the building. Holding a police officer hostage, he gets into an elevator to Davana's floor. Alex exchanges fire with a few officers, runs to the roof, and they follow.